Look,
He's with the woman, and he farts, and she says, "How dare you break wind before me?" He says, "I didn't know it was your turn, baby."
Welcome to the Board Game Snobs podcast. Critically harsh reviews with a touch of class.
Go.
Hello, you beautiful snobs. This is Enrique, and as you can see, or not, but that's right though. But as you can hear, we have my two beautiful snob members, Jerry and Gabi.
He's intent on calling us beautiful.
it's beautiful.
Yes.
I won't argue.
I'm not going to argue him either.
Jerry, you are beautiful.
I am beautiful. But it's not just on the outside. It's the inside that
The
counts.
inside that counts.
But
I don't know where I'm going
People
with that.
always tell me I have a great personality. That's what my wife told me.
okay, but that's all right though. So,
Go ahead. This is why I do the intro.
what do you mean?
This
It's
is
very awkward.
Okay,
So far, it's
I
been very
just did
awkward.
the intro.
You've made it awkward.
Uncomfortable?
You've made it awkward and
I did.
uncomfortable.
You've called us
But
beautiful. I'm not used to
You
compliments.
keep saying
I'm
the
used to
word.
being berated by Jerry. If I'm not berated at the outset, I don't know how to act.
I just don't know what to tell you. Look, the reason that I berate you is that it makes you stronger. Adversity makes you stronger.
Adversity.
Empty compliments just weaken you. Isn't that true? It's true. So,
In your case, perhaps.
no, in every case. Name one time that a compliment has somehow made you stronger in any way, sense, or anyway.
Isn't it supposed to boost your confidence?
Why do you need your confidence boosted?
Some people need it.
Emotional.
Maybe like,
He just said
okay, for instance, say, Enrique, you do really good. You're doing really good at this intro. Keep it up. Then he won't be like doubting himself and questioning
But
himself.
now here's the thing. That sounded really automated. Like
What?
Of like
What did?
what you just now said.
What I just said?
That didn't really sound.
Well, because I
like,
didn't mean it.
So,
See what I mean? Now that's where I agree with Jerry.
Yes.
You don't mean it.
Yes.
You have to.
I feed off the tears of others. Did you ever watch a show and you realize that you are relating to the wrong characters? I remember being very young and watching Return of the
I
Jedi.
love Boss Hog.
Return of the Jedi, and thinking the Emperor, he's not that bad of a guy. He's just trying to get everything lined out. He's in the background going, yeah.
I think Thanos had a valid, idea.
Yeah.
Overpopulation.
I also think, no. I did,
You don't think?
I don't know if sympathize is the word.
Sympathize.
It's either empathize or sympathize. I always forget which one's which.
Empathize means you feel their pain in your heart.
Yeah, basically.
Why is
That
there always going to
can-
be pain?
It's, you're whatever. You feeling their
because
emotions.
you see their viewpoint and just like.
So then what's
you
sympathize?
Understand.
It means you understand. Like, I have zero empathy.
Yeah,
That's
So
part of
you don't feel it, but you understand why others are feeling
I
that way.
sympathize.
Okay.
I have no empathy. Thus, the trials of a sociopath.
Okay, well then I wouldn't empathize. I sympathized with the Joker from Dark Knight.
Why?
Because he just, that acting that he did in that movie and the stories he would tell, like, my daddy put a knife in my mouth and whatever, all this stuff. It's like,
Well, he didn't have a,
like that?
first off,
No.
he didn't have
Okay,
a Louisiana
so-
accent, that's for sure. The Joker wasn't Creole.
Like, he would tell these stories like that. And I
My
don't know,
daddy.
he had a different one every time. But I was like, okay, I understand why this guy's crazy. I understand him. Alfred said, some men just want to watch the world burn. That's you. Did you? So when you were watching Dark Knight, were you rooting for the Joker?
I was mesmerized by the fact that somebody with mental illness could get together such a well thought out plan, and people were actually like, he had a decent crew together.
It
He had it going on.
That was as far as villains go. Pick a better villain than the Joker in the Dark Knight.
Oh,
I'll let Rick.
I mean, I know
first.
there's many, but or not many,
like,
but I know there's some
villains?
out there.
Like, are we talking
Like
about
villains that you like. Most villains you're like rooting for the bad. You're like, oh, he's so obnoxious. But he was funny. He was crazy. Like he was mesmerizing to watch.
Well, I'll just.
And so like I was really hoping he didn't die, which I know that Batman won't kill his bad guys, but But
He dies
then-
eventually.
Basically
though, in
anything that
comics.
Alan Rickman ever played. So just throw that out there for one.
Cut his heart out with a spoon. Of course, that's true.
That's true.
But no, but he was
character-wise.
bad. Like when he got what was coming to him, I was like, oh. I just like Alan Rickman. I didn't necessarily like the Sheriff of Nottingham was a bad guy in Prince of Thieves.
Yeah.
Like he was a terrible person.
But here's the thing about
I mean, I know the Joker like killed lots of people in the movie.
when the Dark Knight came out with the intro scene where they're robbing the bank. I like a concept that the Joker used because it's actually a thing. It's a pirate method where
A pirate method.
it's a pirate method.
Okay, go
because-
ahead.
So pretty much,
Tell us about pirates. You also have no sleeves. You're actually wearing a pirate shirt. I know. I've been
quiet, you.
He's wearing a pseudo wife beater. Go ahead.
But he uses a method that apparently pirates, or it was a pirate method in the days, where the captain would promise a certain crew member to give him more than that they were most likely to gain if they were to do a certain action. So pretty much what the Joker did, he paid he promised each individual that he'll give them more money if they killed their individuals that they were assigned to kill.
Where are you getting the pirate reference from?
He went on the ride at Disney World.
I'm going to have to look up the method.
Don't worry about it. That method, the pirate
Get all my
method.
facts from Jack
I
Sparrow.
have this picture of a book in the near future with Enrique on the cover with his arms bared. The pirate method. How to live your life. How to live your life.
I'm going to have to look.
Remember the
up
3 R's.
It's been so long since
Rum? What's the other
I
two?
don't know. I'm thinking on it. I'm blanking.
I will look it up
Arithmetic.
later on. But it's just I couldn't think of the method, and it bothers me that I cannot think of the name.
The pirate
and
method. Interesting.
I don't think that's a thing. I think
It
he
is a
just
thing.
made
I
that
know.
up.
No, it's a
He
thing.
just made that up.
I will look it up.
If there are any pirates that watch this show, we have a lot of Vikings that listen to this show. We don't have any pirates. You go ahead and look that up.
Maybe if some listeners from Pittsburgh will call in.
Well, let me backtrack just a little bit. This podcast is about board games, if you haven't figured that out already by the title.
By the title alone.
Yes.
But nothing we've mentioned so far.
We like to banter before we begin talking about board games sometimes.
You know why?
Because it's requested.
We like to have fun here.
We like to have fun here.
Did you know
I do know. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter,
you can
LinkedIn,
get pregnant while you're
Amazon.
already pregnant?
Yes.
Will you have twins?
No. Gabi, that's not how zygotes work. It's no.
Zygote?
That's a thing. I'm not even going into this. Why is
How
it?
is that possible?
Why is it? Okay. So literally, I'll sit around, be drinking coffee, be clear-headed and talking about things, and you'll say, "Hey, I was watching 90210 reruns the other night," and you want to have a conversation about that.
It's shocking.
Let me drink a beer and be
That's
relaxed.
astonishing. You want some astonishing facts?
Tell me an
That
astonishing.
was astonishing.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, well, I just mentioned one.
Okay.
Did you know vending machines might be deadlier than sharks?
Yes, I knew that. More people are killed by coconuts every year than shark
I
attacks.
have yet to astonish you.
On average, 12 people every year are killed by vending machines.
What, from them, like shaking it and
Falling
falling over?
falling over.
Okay, yeah, I've heard that. Did you know fruit snacks are made shiny using the same wax used on cars? Mm-hmm. You knew that too?
I did know that.
Okay, well, I give up.
No, do one more.
Okay, hold on. A single cloud can weigh 1.1 million.
Yes, I knew that. I knew that. I'm sorry.
Oh, maybe I'm reading Jerry's astonishing facts.
I think you're on my
Did you
website.
write
I think you're on, look who the writer is. No, most of these facts are not that interesting because most of the things have already, if you read, you tend to come across them.
Did you know you can't taste food unless it's mixed with
I don't know this one.
saliva?
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah, that's a fact. I thought you were talking about
You said you didn't know it. I think now you know it because I just told you.
no.
Okay, but the one that has me astonished is you can get pregnant when you're already pregnant.
So it's like an inception.
So you're going to have a baby and a baby?
It's an inception. It's like an
a good one.
impression.
Inception. That's a good one.
It's a good one.
I don't understand it. I didn't read it all the way through, but I'm astonished.
Speaking of movies.
Speaking of. You always go speaking of in like you're going to hard merge this into something.
No, I'm not. You just got me thinking about actors and voices. And
Go on.
like, I'm trying to think of, because that was something that we had people actually write in. Apparently, I made some comics regarding Gabi's impersonations, and I had several people send us emails saying, please let Gabi do his impersonation.
All right.
So I've been
all right.
that right there. Matthew McConaughey to me has probably the best voice. And
Oh, it's super sexy.
I wouldn't say
Nice
that.
country drawl. Are you kidding me?
nah,
The way he talks is like soothing and relaxing. Like he could just read the back of a cereal box and you'd be like, oh, that's fascinating.
Captain Crunch.
Made from high fructose corn syrup.
That's Bubba. I got Bubba Shrimp going. That's right. That's not Matthew McConaughey.
I'm not a smart man.
Matthew McConaughey has that Texas, I'm very tired.
I think Enrique has a comment. He has his arm raised.
I found it.
He's very intimidating when he raises his hand. We've now got Enrique trained to raise his hand before he comments. Oh, we didn't even introduce ourselves. Also, as I'm teaching Enrique how to do the intros, it's nice to label the people here. For instance, this is Jerry, the host, Gabi, the
other host.
other person who helps me sometimes host this podcast,
Gabi.
the host helper.
Host as well.
You usually just let us
Board Game
introduce
Snobs.
ourselves.
Enrique,
to be
the
honest.
hostess.
With its hosts,
Hosts.
Gabi and Jerry.
Go ahead. What are you
And
listening
Enrique's
to?
here
Are
too.
you trying to listen about pirates? And
No,
you have on
I'm-
no sleeves, so when you raise your hand, we
Okay.
see your underarms. So
I don't
please stop
nothing.
raising your hands.
Okay, but I was able to find what I needed to find.
Your
and-
underarms,
Yeah, so.
otherwise known as your armpits.
You've been holding an onion in that armpit?
Perhaps.
Tell me tell me about the pirate method,
Okay, so it's called the pirate game.
the pirate game.
And I'm.
It sounds like the
I'm
worst
really-
game ever.
No, it's pretty much just it's a mathematical problem known as the pirate method. Mm-hmm. So let me just.
Is this like the Four Agreements? Go ahead. Tell me about the pirate method.
Give me.
the pirate method.
Okay, so let me just look.
You know what? Wait, don't tell me about the pirate method. I'm good being in ignorance of the pirate method.
All right, fine.
Unless our listeners write in and want to know about the pirate method, I'm assuming it's something much like the Four Agreements. So there you go. We're good on that.
All right.
We're very good. Favorite pirate game?
Favorite.
Go.
Oh god.
Favorite pirate game?
I think I've only played
Board
one-
game?
Yeah, board game.
No, or just a pirate game. Like, well, I don't know. What do you think I'm thinking about?
Oh, pirate game.
yes.
Like any game, just like
Pirates Cove.
Pirates Cove. All right, you like Pirates Cove?
Whatever.
like I can just say any game.
We're
Like,
hard
it doesn't
merging
even
this
have to
back
be a
into
board
board-
game.
Just say a game.
All right, Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
You're fired. You're fired.
You
You're
said-
fired.
you
This
said-
is a game about podcasts, about
I'm
board
sorry,
games.
did you
no,
didn't- no,
you're
you
fired.
can't just say-
Walk
You
know
the
what
plank.
a pirate has to pay for a peg leg?
An arm and a leg. Okay, that's
To err is human, to R is pirate.
all right. Look, this
We're gonna
is
cut
why
this, too?
you're a co-host. This is why you're a sometimes host. I can't contain both of you at the same time. The pirate game that I was thinking about was Merchant and Marauders. We had somebody.
Boo.
What do you mean, boo?
I played. That was like one of the earlier games we played together.
It was
and
okay.
I did not like
It
it.
was
don't even remember
overdone.
it.
It was.
It was very long and not that exciting.
Yes. Okay. You
Pirates Cove is. It's got throw some dice, blow people up, run, go get some treasures. You're done. Pirates Cove is the most fun I've had in a pirate themed game.
That's true.
Now,
It is. Thank
Didn't
you.
you guys sell it though?
Yeah, it's gone. I also had Black Fleet for a little bit,
didn't
and
last.
it was
Yeah, it's my
I don't even know.
a little
that game.
too, a little too entry level. At this point.
basic. It's too basic.
Wow.
It was fine, but yeah,
Yo, basic.
All right.
gone.
Yeah.
So
All right, well,
We wanted to talk about Role Player,
yeah,
which is a solo game / multiplayer game / it's a game that's been very popular in the solo community. And Enrique has talked about it.
Oh, don't even.
Yes, you
Don't.
kept talking about it. So finally,
so much.
I only talked about it while we were at the board game convention.
So
that didn't
we
even get to
played
play
it. So to give you an idea, it's a game. It was a Kickstarter back in the day, I believe. Got very popular because of the theme of it. It's role player, like ROLL, like you're rolling these dice instead of like an RPG game, like a role playing game. And what you're doing, you're essentially using that dice to build out the stats on your character. So at the beginning of the game, you select a character board, be of the various races.
I'm bored.
And they have the various stats, the strength, the intelligence, the wisdom, the constitution, dexterity, that type of thing. Some of those...
Constitution is weird.
Constitution?
What do you mean?
Is that like...
It's health.
Is that in RPG? Okay, health makes more sense.
Well, constitution... Well, health is a broad term.
That makes me think of We the People.
You think of the Constitution like the... You sound
Or
like
is that the Declaration of Independence?
Declaration of Independence.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. You're just killing
What's
me.
the Constitution?
The USS Constitution?
They blew up the Enterprise.
They blew up the Enterprise.
But no.
Yes, that's what the Constitution. It's basically your health, your strength,
sometimes
your vitality.
It's called other things like vigor
That's my
or
Constitution.
What would you call it? Your vim and your vigor.
but it can sometimes be.
How would you
different
rate your
things.
Constitution on a scale of 1 to 6?
My Constitution is very poor. At this
Oh,
point.
well, I would say probably.
Enrique reserves the rights to bear arms.
Okay, nice to leave with this joke. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that
I had
one.
to stretch that
That's
out.
actually really good.
Nicholas
All right.
Cage.
All right.
For those
We're
listeners,
stealing the Constitution.
for the
That's
listeners,
more like Jack Nicholson. We're stealing the Constitution.
that's like a pirate, Jack Nicholson.
We're stealing. No, go ahead.
No, stop.
I'm going too far. I'm
Thank
going to have to cut it.
Cut
I
it.
think
For the listeners at home, Enrique never wears sleeves with any of his shirts, and that's what that joke is.
Oh, the Constitution
It's
is We the People.
Yes, the Constitution is we the people.
Okay, well then I was right. Okay, so then what is the Declaration of Independence?
I don't know.
are
What
we
does it
really
start
getting into
with?
like a history lesson here?
Well, we mentioned Constitution, like that's the only Constitution I know of.
Okay.
4 scores and 7 years ago.
Stop. Don't even go into
that's
like narrative
Gettysburg.
mode.
Yeah, I love the Gettysburg Address. I used to recite it. Anyways, role player. You select your character, you select the background, you select their alignment and their class. And basically, the whole game comes from the dice that are involved in this game. You roll these dice, and then you're placing them in each of the little slots on your player board that make up the character's strength, their dexterity, and so forth. They're basically their stats. And at the end of the game, you can kind of see by adding up those 3 slots where your dice go, how strong your character is, or how fast your character is, or how agile they are. And it plays very similar to like Sangrata. Like you're trying to put certain colored dice in the certain areas.
Sagrada. There's no N in it.
That's a drink, isn't it?
So sangria.
Oh, the sunrise?
That's tequila.
That's what I like. So, wasn't she on a reality TV show?
Tila.
Tila. There you go. What happened to her? She dead? She died.
Her career might be dead,
But she's still alive.
she's around. Oh, wait, are you serious? You think she died?
I think she died.
that'd
Don't
be
quote me
sad.
on that. Listeners, don't panic. Tina Tequila might still be
Jerry
alive.
of Board Game Snobs
Declared her
What's
dead.
the it in? Tila Tequila dead, according to Jerry of Board Game
I've just heard
Snobs.
the name. I've heard you say that name before, and I don't know who that person
I have
is.
never said the name Tila Tequila around you.
I'm pretty sure you talk about Tila Tequila quite more than what you realize.
No, she's still around.
Okay, how old is she?
She is 37.
So in New Jersey years, she's 56.
Yeah, basically.
She's still highly attractive. I mean, she's had a very busy
on
life.
what standards though?
Enrique,
What?
Why is there gonna?
not Northern Texas standards.
Ah, okay.
I think she's an attractive lady.
In role player, you draft dice from the middle of the
Hard left turn.
hard merge. You draft dice from the middle of the board, and depending on the number of players, there's only a certain amount of dice. And so, of course, the dice you select, the higher the value, the further down in player order and turn order you go. So after you select your dice, you place them in on your player board. That's kind of the puzzle, getting the right dice in the right spot, because you want to have certain colored dice in certain areas, which will get you more points. After which you're then buying cards from the market, and the cards are either skills, traits, armor, weapons, things that like equip your character and also give you extra bonuses. It's a neat little puzzle. And of course, the game goes on for several rounds. It's very quick, about under an hour to play. It plays very well solo player. It plays very well 2-player and all the way up.
I think I would prefer it just playing solo.
To me, you get the same experience solo as you do multiplayers. I've played it solo, 2-player, and 3-player, and I would say that probably I get the same feel. I will say I do like the competition of having it 2-player. Yeah.
But I do prefer it over Sagrada.
Certainly better than Sagrada. And better than Tila Tequila. Not better than Tequila.
I was going to say
designer Keith Matejka? Matejka.
And there is also they just did a Kickstarter, I think. There's another expansion coming out for it, I believe.
Yeah.
Really?
So there's 2 expansions out already.
What's it going to add to it?
The first expansion was like you fight monsters after you get your character built, and the second one, I don't know. I wasn't too interested in it. I will say that I don't like dice games. I don't like games that are basically dice manipulation games or placing dice or rolling dice or anything of that nature.
Okay, you know how many times now
I've said that.
You have said, when we're discussing a dice game that you enjoy, I don't really like dice games.
Well,
this is at least the 3rd dice game we've played that you like.
How many dice games do I have to like until I have to say I start liking dice games?
Exactly. That's my question
3,
to you.
4? How many? Give me a number.
You like a bunch.
I don't like a bunch.
You do like a bunch.
I do not like a bunch.
You do like.
Okay, so here's the thing. It's actually remarkable. It is quite fascinating that he even likes dice, at least 3 dice manipulation.
He likes Lorenzo.
Which is not a dice game.
This one.
Lorenzo is not a dice game. How dare you?
It is. It's dice involved.
There's dice there, but it is not a dice game. Go ahead. Next. Let me shoot that down real fast.
Well, I'm not.
That's a great.
What's
if I had something in the top of my Nations, the dice game.
Oh, please.
Yeah, it's in the title itself.
Please.
You just sat there and crowed about your love of Nations,
the dice game.
Exactly.
Wow, that
me.
smile is not convincing.
Enjoy role player. Matter of fact, I will say this. If you're a solo player and you've been on the fence, role player is a really good game. And matter of fact, I think that if you're the type of player that enjoys the Sagrada or Azul type games where you're trying to figure out a little puzzle, this has some theme to it.
But Azul has no solo.
No, Azul has no solo. Role player has a nice solo, and role player
has solo. Sagrada has a solo. I prefer role player to Sagrada.
Nice. Enrique.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we're talking about a game now. You can chime in.
Oh, well, I did like role player because for me, it's kind of like
Let me tell this story. Another. Quick. Cue the music.
Enrique classic.
Cue the music to another story of Enrique.
Okay.
So in this game, you get to pick your class, or you get to pick your
Benny Hill music.
You get to pick your background, and so your background can be that you're a warrior or what your history is, like you were an orphan or something of that nature. And so Enrique's picking his character, and I'm over here just looking at my board at the time. Enrique says, "I said my character. I said mine's a poet. What's yours?" And he says, "I'm a sea urchin." And I looked up at him, looked at him really blank, and looked at it, and it was street urchin.
Yeah.
And he declared so proudly, "I'm a sea urchin."
No, I was like super.
And I looked it up. You know what a group of sea urchins is called?
What?
An Enrique.
I believe you.
Hey.
Speaking, okay.
Enrique.
So solo games. I've been playing solo a lot here lately.
Yes, you have.
Oh no.
I played Teotihuacan
Yes.
several times solo. I want to like it so badly solo.
That sounds like an actual title of a solo song. I want to like it so badly.
But I can't.
Featuring Pitbull.
Mr. Worldwide. What? But I don't.
You don't?
I've played it. I want to so badly. But the way that solo is created, there's like, okay,
Just
your
like how
gold,
bad?
your stone, and your wood. I can remember those because if you're on them, either you pay it. If you're not on the one where you use those objects, gold, stone, or wood, then you go to the one where you get gold, stone, or wood. So I can kind of remember those moves. There's 3 of them. So in this pyramid of solo moves, there's 6 moves. 1 on top, 2 in the middle, 3 on the bottom. So you either gain, or you either build, or you gain. Stone, wood, gold. Right? Okay. I've got those locked down. But even at that, if you're not, if you locked down, if you don't have anybody on any of those, then you take this other move where you gain 5 cocoa. And then if you have 10 cocoa, you trade those in for 3 points. It's still something to have to think about. But the other 3 moves, you get masks. You look at your dice and make a move with the highest one, depending on where it's at. And the other one has something to do with gold, and it's got dice on it.
I'm confused just listening.
Exactly. I constantly, and I constantly have to look at the rule book for the solo mode. And I want to like it so bad, but it's too fiddly.
Did you see the app?
You just sent me that like the other day.
Yeah.
And I have yet to use it. That would be very nice if it's been vetted, if it works right. That would be great. But still yet, I didn't really, does it tell you what to do?
I don't know.
If it tells you, okay, if the masks come up, because like in the masks, depending on where you're at, you're supposed to, if you don't have any mask for the Teotibot, you take the mask starting at, I think, square 1 or square 2 or square 3, and you go around. But if there's no mask there, you do something else. If you can't do that, you do something else.
No moss.
No mask, no moss. I think I'm done with the Teotibot.
You are?
It's too much. It's probably brilliant.
It's probably brilliant.
But it's too much for me to remember. And it's not, what's the word we always use?
Elegant. Intuitive.
Teotihuacan. It is not.
Sorry.
Teotihuacan. I can't do it.
Wow. I can't do it.
Yes.
Oh.
No. Okay.
Yes. Let's butcher the names of other sacred temples.
So I've been playing Viticulture solo as well. Viticulture, my number 1 game, my favorite game of all time. The solo on it, smooth as butter.
How
play a card,
smooth
it tells
butter?
you where to go. You put your dude there, and you do it. However, they are both of these games, the Teotibot and Aaron from Viticulture. I stole that from the Castles of Burgundy card game, but that's what I call all my solo bots now. I don't know how you beat Viticulture solo. It's very hard.
Since we've derailed this podcast.
We have not derailed it. Role Player is a largely solo played game.
Okay. Well, I'm going to talk about a solo game that I played that I really like.
But before we go into that, I'm just
word
comparing
from our sponsor.
Teotihuacan solo. I can see the brilliance there. I can't do it. I'm done. Viticulture, still love it.
Still love it.
Very smooth. Love the Automa. Gourd head.
Black Sonata.
Black Sonata?
Black Sonata.
Like you've been breathing in too much ash.
That makes...
From a campfire?
I am talking
that gives
about
me Black Sonata.
The Shakespearean themed Black Sonata.
The game I bought and you have.
And I love it.
Much like Coffee Roasters.
Two games.
2 solo games that I often ask, Jerry, where are they at? Oh, Jerry's got them.
You have Coffee Roasters.
I do have Coffee Roasters.
You don't play it.
You finally brought it back.
And they are just announced.
I brewed some coffee the other day.
They just announced that they're reprinting Coffee Roasters. A German company has gotten the rights to Coffee Roasters.
Yeah.
They're coming out with a premium edition of it. Hold your horses.
Are you going to buy one?
You betcha.
But we've got that one.
I'm doing it, so you'll stop griping.
Thank you.
Because you don't play this.
Thank you.
It will sit on your. It will sit on your
just
shelf.
played it the other day.
And you've had it
And
for
I
months.
brewed a fine bean.
What did you brew?
I brewed some Peruvian beans. Very well. I did burn some.
Yeah. I see your scores on it. I'm not impressed. Black Sonata.
I'm no barista.
Dave, I like him.
Dave Barista.
He's really good. I liked him in Guardian of the Galaxies.
That was a good one.
I'm tearing it up. Well, it's this. I'm not doing whiskey tonight. I'm doing
Texas, that revolver.
This Blood and Honey.
Yeah.
Blood and Honey revolver. It's an American
Well, you
ale.
need to stick to that because it ups your pun quotient quite a bit.
It has. I've been keeping track. My puns go down. My whiskey I've noticed the puns go down and my tolerance for you go down.
The thing is, maybe whiskey might be a little too much too quick.
A little bit of beer.
Beer is like,
but I'm not a
gives you
beer
little-
person. I don't like beer. I'm not a beer
like
person.
that one.
I like beer situationally. Like I'll eat a steak and drink a beer. When it's hot, I like to drink a beer. But like just sit around and just drinking something straight, I like whiskey. I'm not a beer drinker. I don't like the carbs.
Why not?
Just don't. Makes me bloated.
That way you
not
get
fat.
shredded.
Yeah.
I can see your abs right now.
I'm working on my abs.
I
Thank
can
you.
see them. Very nice.
I'm about to do a Matthew McConaughey.
Mind if
Well
I
then,
scrub my jammies on there?
Take my shirt off there.
Stop.
Probably get more.
You're-
Be a lot cooler if you did.
guys are disturbing.
Black Sonata. What happened to Matthew McConaughey? Is he doing anything now?
He had the reconnaissance.
What's that?
That's when he came back with that.
What now? The reconnaissance? Did you just make that up?
No, that's what they called his resurgence.
Okay.
So Matthew McConaughey started off
All right.
making his rom-coms, right?
Yeah, that's just all he did.
Failure to Launch,
Terrible
How to Lose a
actor.
Guy in 10
Terrible
Days. I actually kind of like those movies. But, I mean, that was just like he was stuck in a mold.
Favorite
then he kind
rom-com.
of disappeared.
Favorite rom-com. Favorite rom-com right now.
My favorite rom-com,
Yes.
right? Oh, wow.
I've already got two in my head right now, and I hate rom-coms.
Real?
Abs-
Okay, no, Captain Ron.
Captain Ron is not a rom. Oh no!
Are you kidding me? Martin Short and his wife.
That's a comedy. That's not a romantic comedy. I thought you were making a pun like a ron-com.
No,
that
I
is
love
not.
Captain Ron.
Captain Ron is good, but it's not a romantic comedy. Go ahead. Martin
wow.
Short's, that's his worst movie according to him. He hated it, by the way. Fun fact. Yeah, they asked, I watched an interview one time with Martin Short and they said, what was your least
Russell was amazing in that
favorite
movie.
film? And he's, without missing a beat, Captain Ron.
That hurts my soul.
I know. I love that show. Go ahead. Favorite rom-com. I'll give you mine. I got two that come off the top of my head. 500 Days of Summer and Serendipity. My man.
Gosh.
What's his name now?
John Cusack.
And my woman.
From Serendipity? Oh,
British gal. Come on now.
She was a werewolf. Liking. Kate Beckinsale.
I like her a lot. Kate Beckinsale.
Kate Beckinsale.
She was an actress. There's an actress that got caught up in some sort of weird sci-fi. I've never watched any of those shows. It looked terrible.
No.
Weird sci-fi stuff. and
Okay.
She's not done anything
Quick,
since.
weird, not weird, unrelated fact. One of my wife's favorite movies has Kate Beckinsale in it.
Who is it?
Who is it?
What is it? Who else is in it?
Ben Affleck.
Oh, Pearl Harbor? Is
Yes.
she watching Pearl Harbor? Oh,
My wife loves Pearl Harbor.
No.
Okay, but I will tell you.
No.
You know what gets her about it?
why?
I said, what?
What? Sorry. Where? Go ahead. Where? What? When? Who?
Hey.
Hey. I'm sorry.
Hans Zimmer
Yeah, I love Hans
and the
Zimmer.
soundtrack.
Love Hans Zimmer and love the
The
soundtrack.
soundtrack to Pearl Harbor is beautiful.
I can't watch anything that's got Ben Affleck in it.
Well,
I've
now
discovered-
that's just being foolish.
No, because I discovered that anybody who stars opposite Ben,
Armageddon is in my top five movies of all time.
I know I like the movie, but anything that Ben Affleck is in, the person starring opposite of him is contractually obligated to die. Bruce Willis dies. Josh Hartnett dies. Ben Affleck, Matt Damon dies.
Speaking of what happened to Josh Hartnett.
Oh, Josh Hartnett. Yeah, he quit movies. He
he's
gave
in-
up.
Well, I think he's like in a show called Penny Dreadful.
I don't know what he is, but he straight up said I like.
But he
something.
was like a movie star. They were like really pushing him in movie star, and he starred in Pearl Harbor and the movie with Harrison Ford.
Oh, that Hollywood murder
Hollywood
show. Yeah, that's a
Homicide or
terrible
something.
show.
Yeah, it was bad.
That's worse. That's right up there with Crystal Skull.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, poor Josh Hartnett. No. Okay, well, quick
The
question.
only thing about Hollywood Homicide that was good about it is it had one of the best country singers that have ever lived playing in it, Dwight Yoakam. Thank you very much.
There you go.
Love Dwight
I'm not gonna argue
Yoakam.
that.
Love Dwight Yoakam.
You ever heard of Johnny Horton?
Yeah.
Johnny Horton is my favorite country singer of all time.
Really?
Yes.
But what's your favorite rom-com you've ever answered?
That's a massive question for me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, like I said, I actually like those terrible movies of Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, I know you do.
Failure to Launch.
Terrible.
I liked it.
That's terrible.
You know why?
Why?
Because I wish I was like those guys. Like in those movies, they don't ever really show them at work, but yet they live these fantastic lives with these awesome houses.
These jobs that nobody really knows how they do.
Exactly. A marketer or something. But and all they do is travel and do stuff.
They never actually see them market.
No, they don't do nothing.
I see you trucking all the time.
I know mine.
Go ahead.
I know mine.
Black Dog.
Hitch.
Oh, no. With the guy off King of Queens?
Yes.
Hitch is a decent show. I'll give you Hitch.
Hitch is hilarious.
It's all right.
No, Hitch is greatness.
Okay. I did like the whole dancing thing.
Yes.
Keep your snap your fingers.
Ain't making no pizza.
Making no pizza.
Ain't nobody eating on Q-tips.
Oh.
Hitch is greatness. That was before, we really left the board gaming behind.
We're talking about Shakespeare. Keep going. Keep going. We got this. About the hard merge. Right back to what we were talking about.
I'm about to merge the crap out of
We
it.
got this. Keep going.
That was before Kevin James joined the Adam Sandler gang. And like Kevin James, to me, was a legit comedian. I liked him. King of Queens. I could watch King of Queens right now.
He certainly had heart. Go ahead.
Wow.
Tearing it up.
You need some more. You're empty. You're out.
Fill me up. Black Sonata is a game about you trying to find this one particular woman in Shakespeare's life. And so the game emulates, is that the right word I'm looking for?
Yes.
Emulates a hidden movement. And so at the beginning of the game, you prepare a deck that will move the lady around this very small board. And the certain locations on these boards have icons like financial district, entertainment district, a tavern, things of that nature. And so you see the card and it'll say, okay, the woman is one of, so you see the top part of the movement deck, the card. And so you'll know that she's at one of these 3 spaces. And so you're moving your little meeple around the board trying to get to those spaces while she's moving. And so you kindly, by looking at the movement, can deduce where she's at. And then on your turn, you can choose to search in one of those areas. Very neatly, you take the card, you take this little, another card that has a little peephole, little notch out of it, and you can compare to see if the lady's there. And then it gives you a clue if you're correct. And then as the game goes on, it pressures you to hurry up and guess which lady it is the actual lady that's the one that won over Shakespeare's love. Isn't that Shakespeare in Love? That was a show, wasn't it?
Gwyneth Paltrow, yes.
Gwyneth Paltrow. Either way,
Ray Fiennes' little brother.
I love Ray Fiennes.
What
Was
about
that
his
Ray
brother?
Fiennes' little brother?
Joseph Fiennes?
It is Joseph Fiennes. I didn't know that.
I don't know if it's a little brother, but that's the brother.
Ray Fiennes and J-Lo
Manhattan.
made
in Manhattan.
could not have been more lopsided in terms of acting power. I mean, who could keep up with Ray Fiennes? Not J-Lo. He ran blocks around her, like Jenny from the Block.
Well,
so
come on.
The idea of
He's M now.
trying to find this particular spot on the board and being able to guess which one of these ladies is the actual love of Shakespeare is the theme of this game. And it does a great job. It kind of feels like, what's that game you like? Letters from Whitechapel?
Whitechapel.
It's Letters from Whitechapel.
Designer
solo.
John Keane. Artist John Keane. He artist and designed his own game. Wow. Publisher Side Room Games. I believe they follow us on Instagram.
Very keen on it.
He's very keen.
So this
I can't keep up. You just blow me
fire.
away.
On
You
fire.
blow me.
It is.
Didn't Keane write like the Hardy Boys
I'd hardly read any of the Hardy Boys.
or Nancy Drew?
Nancy Drew.
I think something Keane wrote Nancy Drew. Katie Keane is one of Archie's friends in Riverdale. Also going to be a show on the CW. Any other Keanes we can think of? There's a band called Keane.
No, I don't know. There's Michael Keaton, but that's the only.
Oh, I got another fact for you.
Go ahead, hit me with it.
But it's totally unrelated yet again.
Hit me with it because I'm ready for it. You've derailed this podcast. You're like the worst assistant co-host I've ever had. Go ahead.
Host.
What? Go ahead. I said that. I said host. Go ahead. What? I was looking at you, but talking to him. Go ahead.
Did you know?
I did.
In the poster, speaking of Kevin Costner,
Yes.
in the poster for
Ears up.
Bodyguard,
Yes. Where he's raining and he's holding her, Whitney Houston.
No, not Whitney Houston.
Who is it?
Her double in the movie. She was not.
So what?
Yeah, I know. As soon as I heard it, I was like,
I heard some serious nose whistling. I think I had your microphone turned on, but it was piercing my ears.
Enrique.
I wish I had the microphone on,
Enrique.
but I think I've had it off this whole time. So fortunately,
Enrique, if you're going to blow your nose, do it off mic. He was whistling through his nose.
that nose was tearing it up.
Go ahead.
As the air was pushing ever so vigorously to get past that big booger. Okay.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
And yes, it was her, I believe it was her double, stunt double, whatever. But he had because in the poster, she doesn't have her head up. She's got her,
it's down,
she's in the crook of his arm.
She's in his bosom.
She's in his bosom. It's like, that's an iconic poster.
It is. I have that poster.
Not Whitney Houston.
I don't have that poster. I don't have that
Kevin
poster.
Costner, he admitted that
The postman lost it.
not so long ago. You are on another level today. I'll give you all the props in the world. I'm too busy looking at stuff, browsing stuff, and you're just shooting them off like nobody's business.
If you just FYI, it bothered me. I was looking on YouTube the other day. Do you realize that on YouTube there are movies that you can watch, full movies that you can watch for free? They have such great flicks, such as Troll Hunter and various other weird shows, and amongst them, Dances with Wolves.
Oh.
In Waterworld, would you think that they would have such a fine film intermingled with such a thing?
Oh.
It's terrible.
Jeez.
It just goes to show.
Only in the Field of Dreams?
If you'll play it, they'll come.
You've outdone yourself, sir. Hats off to you. We should just end right now.
No. Black Sonata, I love it. I love Black Sonata. I didn't back it on Kickstarter. Thankfully, Gabi did.
Beside Rim Games.
But yeah, role
Good
player, excellent game. Black Sonata, excellent.
Role player, excellent solo. I don't know about excellent solo, good solo.
I enjoyed it.
Black Sonata, excellent solo.
Excellent.
Well, but I love Whitechapel. I love the whole hidden movement thing. The fact that they created a game where I can do that by myself, that's pretty impressive.
It is impressive.
All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode. Enrique, has your nose stopped whistling?
Perhaps. I'm not sure. I'm seriously very embarrassed by that.
Well, I think I had the microphone down, so
Okay,
you're good. Don't be embarrassed, man.
No, as soon as I noticed it, noticed it, I was
How dare
like,
you break wind before me? I didn't know it was your turn, baby.
What was that? What are you laughing about? I don't.
yeah, that was Austin
Austin
Powers.
Powers. Oh, there's a show that. Look,
She's with the woman, and she farts, and she says, "How dare you break wind before me?" It's just, I didn't know it was your turn, baby.
R.I.P.
Okay. On that note,
Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
what are we going to discuss next week? Who knows? We don't plan things out in advance.
Yeah, we're kind of behind. And so if we haven't got up or caught up with you this month of July, we're kind of taking it easy. Mainly because of the holidays and work and everything. So we'll be back at it probably more up to date because our backlog of games is big. And so August is going to be a big...
Next week, we'll discuss Castell.
Oh, we got caught. Oh, yeah.
Castells? Castell.
Castella?
Yeah.
Stella.
Where the people climb each other and make a tower.
Mm-hmm. Like cheerleaders.
That one's for you, Bruno. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Bruno, yeah.
All right. Until then, I'm Gabi.
My co-host, and this is Jerry.
This is Enrique.
Yeah,
Your two primary hosts.
Did you just
Gabi
wave?
and
Yeah,
Jerry.
I did wave.
He waved his hand like he's waving
Okay.
goodbye.
I did
Bye-bye.
wave.
That's nice.
Thank you for listening to the Board Game Snobs. Stay classy.